like this is so close. Hey, hey everybody. Um, so I know I didn't give an announcement that I was going live. It was just really impromptu. I know y'all hardly ever see me this late. When you do see me, it's usually a little earlier, but I wanted to take advantage of Tyler Takeover not being here. So I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible though. And so I just wanted to actually follow up or kind of expand on the question of, can toxic relationships be fixed? Can they really be fixed? And so, I know that there is sometimes a very strong bond in toxic relationships, that there's a cycle in toxic relationships, on again, off again, a lot of time involved, a lot of time invested rather. And so it can be a little difficult to get out of that cycle and to kind of get out of that, rut. And so, the technical answer of can toxic relationships be fixed is yes. But there is a key component in that, right? Because relationships are not just one person. Relationships involve two people. And so the key to that is that both parties have to do the work. Both parties. It can't be one person putting in all the effort, wanting things to be different, trying for things to be different, trying to take care of that person and trying to take care of themselves. That is not healthy. That is not healthy at all. And that will keep you in the cycle, trying to keep one person happy and trying to, hey, we need to go to counseling. We need to fix this situation. And one person is putting forth all the effort. That is exhausting. So in order for things to get better, for things to heal, it has to be both parties. And so that's ideal, right? But most toxic people kind of don't want that to happen. So the question then is, how do you focus on the things that you can control, right? Like, how does it still get better? And so, hi, Colleen. And so that is the real answer. The real answer is to focus on the part that you can control, because if you wait for the other person to change, you're positioning yourself to be miserable. You're positioning yourself to not be emotionally stable, because that means that when they're acting right or they're treating you good, you're in a good space. And then when they're not and they're acting up, you're feeling horrible. And so that is the definition of emotional instability. And so the key is to focus on things that you can control. You can't control whether that person is going to want to fix the situation, want to treat you different, and trying to manipulate and get them to change is just as toxic as that person treating you poorly. And so really think about, what are the things that I can control? What are the things that I can do to make myself happy? And so when you begin to focus on that part, then that's when you can start to see the change. And the change that you really want is to be happy. The change that you really want is to not be crying every day. And yes, you may want them to really treat you the way that you desire. But the reality is that you can't make them do that. You can't. And so making the decision to put yourself first, to make yourself happy, whether they act right or not, is how you can but that is the exact way that you get out of that rut of a cyclical, toxic relationship. And so the reason that, things kind of stay the same is because to to focus on the parts that aren't working, or one person is trying to control the relationship and control the actions of the other person. And so it's going to remain toxic and trying to manipulate each other, get each other to treat you the way you prefer to be treated. And so that is just, the definition of toxicity, right? Trying to control somebody else, trying to manipulate somebody else, trying to make them feel guilty for what they are or are not doing. And so that is that's not healthy. And so the real question is, even if they don't do all the things, which they have every right to choose not to, but if they don't do what you want them to do, how will you be happy? How can you be happy? How can you still feel valued in that situation? How can you still feel respected in that situation without without repeating yourself, without yelling, without going back and forth, tit for tat, without all those things? Because once you start doing that and trying to get revenge, or when you start saying things like, I'm going to, I'll show you what you're missing, and, how would you like it if, I did this to you, and you're already on the wrong path. You're already on the wrong path, and you're already, hey y'all, hey Sean, hey Leela, hey sis, but you're already on the wrong path of, you're not on the path of healthy relationships. You're on the wrong path of continuing that cycle of healthy relationships. So what you want to do is focus on you and focus on how to make you happy. And that's where you maintain control. That's where you maintain control. And that's where you can maintain your happiness. Because again, depending on someone else to make you happy and waiting for them to act right before you, in order for you to feel okay, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for failure. So I just kind of wanted to expand on that again and let you kind of think about that and think about how to put yourself a priority. Because if you haven't decided to do that, it's kind of unfair to ask that other person to make you feel important when you don't take the necessary steps to make you feel important. So, feel free to ask me questions. So feel free to ask me questions about that. I know sometimes that can be difficult to hear, especially when you're being mistreated and you feel like you're doing everything right. Hey, Chanel. Hey, Ellie. When you feel like you're doing everything right and you don't feel like you deserve to be treated the way that you are. And that may very well be the case. I don't doubt that for not a minute. But when you focus on trying to change the person, trying to get them to see how you feel, trying to convince them that you're valuable, trying to convince them that the relationship is worth saving, you are adding stress to your situation. You're adding stress to the relationship. And it's exhausting. And so kind of just think about, again, how you can focus on the things that you can control. So I just wanted to leave you guys with that this evening. And no, I don't have Tyler Takeover, but I did say that I kind of wanted to make this short and just expand for you guys a little bit. So until next time, again, message me, if you have any questions or if you want to talk about it further, I'll be more than happy to do so. And until next time, you all have a great evening. Good night.